Well, hello and welcome again to Wrexham's Greatest Games. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC, and I'm joined this time by Laszlo Griffiths, a die-hard fan. So, we're going to have a look back today at... basically, I couldn't record this. He wouldn't let me record it unless I gave him a hug. Otherwise, I'd have been stuck down here for hours, achieving nothing. Like much of my life. Hey, Laz. Anyway, Wrexham's Greatest Games. Wrexham... in this game going back to 1997 and a cup tie which was extremely resonant. Wrexham against West Ham United. Third time we'd played West Ham in the cups, and on each occasion a memorable one. 1981 we played them. West Ham were the FA Cup holders. We drew at Upton Park, came back to the racecourse, drew again after a replay, after extra time. A toss of the coin said that the second replay would also be played at the racecourse. It went to added time, but at this point only one substitute allowed. Wrexham were looking very patched up, with goal scorer supreme Dixon McNeil having to fill in at left back, but he still managed to get his way forwards during added time to score the only goal and knock the cup holders out of the competition. Then, of course, in 1992, we draw West Ham again, our reward for beating Arsenal in the third round. We draw 2-2 dramatically at Upton Park, and then are very unfortunate to lose 1-0 in the replay at home. West Ham scoring in the first half. Wrexham really ought to have been playing against 10 men after Tim Breaker's blatant professional foul on Carl Connolly early in the second half. And so now we meet again, 1997. Brian Flynn's Wrexham are up in the League One and are pushing for the playoff places, a side that are very difficult to beat. West Ham, managed by Harry Redknapp, are struggling at the wrong end of the Premier League. So, let's see what happens.
Here's a rare sight, a racecourse that's escaped the freeze. The pitch has been insulated for 4 days by a layer of snow, and when the referee Mike Reed took a look at 8 o'clock this morning, he found the turf soft enough for a moulded stud. And so we have blue lines, an orange ball, and a fairly unhappy West Ham manager. Harry Redknapp would have liked a better surface, but he knows better than most that days like this are part of the FA Cup's unique appeal. Redknapp's team lacks the injured Bilic, so Steve Potts turns out for the 400th time. Steve Jones is preferred up front to Florin Raducoiu, and John Moncur returns in midfield. Wrexham's team more or less picked itself. There are 2 full internationals, the goalkeeper Marriott and Brian Carey at centre-back. Brian Hughes has already scored 4 times in their cup run, but only one player was actually born in Wales, and 5 years ago today, Steve Watkins scored Wrexham's most famous goal, the one that accounted for Arsenal. Everything would appear to be in place for an upset. West Ham struggling near the foot of the Premiership. Wrexham, for their part, have knocked out 6 teams from the top flight in the last 20 years of FA Cup competition. At the right-hand end of the pitch as we look out is the hardest part, and significantly Wrexham lost the toss, and that's why they're defending that end in the first half. Early chance for Martin Chalk to run, and it just beat into the touchline. Dix with the throw. On by Brian Hughes. Morris, and Breaker's header. And now Chalk. With 3 players waiting, it's a corner off the outstretched boot of Dix. Wrexham's set pieces are always well worked, and they have plenty of height available to them as well. Here comes the corner, and that'll boost the confidence of Ludek Mikloško. It's a long throw, and it's picked out Steve Jones. Humes, the Wrexham captain. Williamson. And Porfirio, whose first touch of FA Cup action this is. Aiming for Michael Hughes. And over both him and Brian Hughes. Given away to Moncur. Michael Hughes. Michael Hughes, who scored in the third round for West Ham last year when they beat Southend. Watkin. And Chalk has set off on a sprint down the right. Men are gathering in the centre for him. And Owen nearly got to it. Fortunately, from a West Ham viewpoint, Williamson just managed to nick the ball away. Here comes the corner. And he's managed to find the net. Brian Hughes has scored. Well, how did he direct that header wide of the defenders and into the corner of the net? There was a moment when the whole crowd held its breath collectively as Owen's corner came in and Brian Hughes was allowed to get in a header. There, just inside the post. And Brian Hughes is becoming the man for all conditions in the FA Cup. It's his 5th goal in 5 ties in this season's competition. Brian Hughes, only 20 years old, hails from Liverpool. In fact, he's an Evertonian, but he does have an eye for goal. And the second division side have the lead that they so wanted. And there is a happy chappie. Brian Flynn, the 4th longest serving manager in English football. Or in his case, Welsh football. This is Michael Hughes. It will still be in West Ham's possession through Tim Breaker. Bishop. It's a ball forward to Moncur. Well, Porfirio was in there, and so was Steve Jones. And Wrexham didn't look too secure defending that low cross. It was a good cross, but in the end it was Carey that did ever so well to get there first. Watkin, decent leap. And surely Hughes was being fouled. He was, by Bishop. Whenever Wrexham win a free kick, memories come flooding back of Mickey Thomas 5 years ago today. Carey, Ward and Owen are the candidates to take it. And it's Ward that does take it. And it wasn't far wide. Peter Ward is a reasonably frequent scorer with that left foot, and McCloskey was scrambling to get across. Well, Harry Redknapp and Frank Lampard on the right there must be feeling that their worst fears are coming to pass. It's a testing goal kick by McCloskey, and it's on a corner off the head of Brian Carey. Williamson's kick. Dix. West Ham's leading scorer, Julian Dix. His is a presence with which you don't generally argue. Reaper. Owen. It's a good touch. Watkin. Owen. First save that McCloskey's had to make for quite a while. The FA Cup is a fickle competition. 22 years ago today, Brian Flynn was in the First Division Burnley team, beaten by Southern League Wimbledon at Turf Moor. Potts. And Marriott has come out and he's missed it. There was a bit of a shoulder charge. Porfirio! And it's in! Well, Andy Marriott, I'm afraid, has to take the lion's share of the blame. But credit must go to the little Portuguese international for seeing the opportunity and having the skill to take it with such finesse. Jones gave the goalkeeper a little nudge, but really he should have caught it. Porfirio had just an instant to assess the situation, and Carey on the line couldn't get back in time. In fact, the curling shot couldn't have been better placed. Look, up high enough, over the defender, under the bar, 1-1. Poor Andy Marriott on his club's big day. Ward, Bishop. And that's half-time. And Wrexham may feel a touch deflated after Porfirio's equaliser. Right on the end of 45 minutes, it was well taken after Brian Hughes had given Wrexham a 6th-minute lead with a stooping header. Wrexham controlled the early stages. It's significant that there are 1 or 2 pats on the back of the head for Andy Marriott as he leaves the fray at half-time, because it was his mistake that has given us a scoreline of 1-1 at the midway point. Wrexham are nothing if not dogged. They've been behind 5 times in the 2.5 rounds of the cup competition that they've played so far, and they're still well involved in this season's FA Cup, so there's obviously plenty of heart and spirit to the side. They've struggled to overcome the non-leaguers of Colwyn Bay in round 1 and 3rd Division Scunthorpe in the 2nd round. This is Watkin, Ward, and they haven't really picked up chalk, and there are 2 players in the middle. Dix missed it, Reaper didn't, fortunately for West Ham. It seemed to go right underneath Dick's foot. Brian Hughes. So nearly a chance for Wrexham to retake the lead in the opening seconds of this half. Carey. Reaper's header only as far as Brian Hughes again. Chalk. 3 in the middle. And a corner, although Wrexham were appealing for something more. Carey and Watkin waiting for the delivery from Gareth Owen. Watkin stepped over it, and Wrexham are going backwards just for the moment. Harding, Ward, Carey of all people popping up virtually on the left wing. Phil Harding, Owen, dispossessed by Michael Hughes. It's back with Wrexham and Brian Hughes. Watkin couldn't quite fall to Morris. Hard to tell whether Harry Redknapp's pleased or not. Reaper. It's fallen to Brian Hughes. Still going, Brian Hughes. No penalty. Mike Reid was quite clear about that. But here's Jones at the other end. Beyond Carey. Good save by Marriott. And a brave save as well. Away by Hughes. Well, Andy Marriott has saved Wrexham's day, for the time being at least, because Jones had got beyond Carey. Wrexham thought that they had a penalty, but did they? It was Brian Hughes who'd gone round and past a couple of players, and, well, that was inconclusive. Breaker. Jones, free header! So well delivered cross ball. Wrexham were nowhere defensively, and it's shaved the post. Porfirio, Bishop, Porfirio, Jones with a yard of space, enough to turn. Well, Wrexham stood off him sufficiently to allow him to control, turn and shoot. Dangerous. Reaper, Bishop, Porfirio, still Porfirio, he was tumbled off the ball. Bishop, and look at the space that Michael Hughes has got. Wrexham are struggling here. Hardy away. Bishop, thinking about a shot. Williamson, it's an awkward one for the keeper. Anxious moment still for Harry Redknapp. Porfirio. Moncur. Hardy. Breaker. Moncur's away. Jones going in for it, and it may well have flicked off Brian Carey. It did, it's a corner. Jones was inches away from making telling contact. The corner was flicked by Ward. Moncur. Can his side sneak something right at the end? Russell. And West Ham have survived where so many big names in recent years have fallen. Harry Redknapp may well be a relieved man as he contemplates the prospect of an Upton Park replay on Wednesday week. The Wrexham faithful know that their side came close, but not close enough to causing an upset. Porfirio's goal on the stroke of half-time, cancelling out the early header by Brian Hughes, his 5th goal in the Cup this season. At that stage, it looked like the shock was on. West Ham were more resilient than maybe some people have given them credit for amidst their current troubles, and they lived to fight another day.
I thought we came in playing on a terrible pitch today. That really football shouldn't have been played on it. It's easy for me to say that now because we've come away with a fair result. We've got a chance at home, but and if I'd have got beat today, it would have been difficult for me to have said that, you know. But that pitch was never playable. It wasn't fit to play football on.
So how surprised were you that the game went ahead?
I couldn't believe it. We came down here this morning, looked at the pitch. It was covered in snow. The referee said leave the snow. And I mean, football's not meant to be played on snow, is it? Surely it's meant to be played on grass. And you told people all week to work and pass the ball. And to play and to move and to part and it's all I told my players to do today was kick it. How can that be right? What has that got to do with football? I'm tempted to kick it the way they're facing, you know. But having said that, we went one down, and I thought, well, okay, everyone looks like it's a. I'm sure everyone was looking for a cup upset here today, but I thought we showed tremendous character.
The problem we had leading up to the game is everybody was saying that the problems that West Ham had or were having. And was starting to make us favourites for the game, and that was never the case. We've played well, we did our best today on a difficult pitch, and we've given our best, and I can ask no more from my lads.
Do you feel the draw was fair?
Yeah, I think it was a fair result. I don't think either side would deserve to win it or to lose it.
What is it about you and the FA Cup? You've scored, 5 times in the competition this season now?
5 times this year now. Scored in every round. 3 in the first against Colwyn Bay. Well, replay as well. And Scunthorpe in the next round, I got one there, and now again today. So just go get another one in the replay.
It was Hugo Porfirio's first taste of the FA Cup, and he took his chance well.
Well, it's the first time he's ever seen snow.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's never seen snow until like this period of snow that we've had. He's never seen snow in his life.
So what did he say when he turned up at the racecourse today?
Well, he couldn't believe that we English people were mad enough to play football on that.
So, a draw. A controversial draw because of the conditions. I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of Harry Redknapp's post-match interview there, in all honesty. If you genuinely believe Hugo Porfirio thought he was in some sort of magical Disney movie because there was snow, think again. An interesting point to make about that game, though. Okay, was the pitch in prime condition? Obviously not. But Wrexham were a very good, skillful, technical passing side for a team at that level. And to be honest, Wrexham were the side that struggled the most with the conditions. West Ham selected Steve Jones, a big, physical centre-forward, the like of which Wrexham didn't have in their squad. And they played the ball long and adapted to conditions better than Wrexham did. Wrexham continued to try and play neat passing football. The implication, quite clearly, from Redknapp was that things would be different when the Premier League team got Wrexham on a nice, proper Premier League pitch. So, the sides returned to London. We had a false start. The game was supposed to be played in a midweek and was postponed because of fog. I remember that well. I got as far as London before finding out it was off. And so the rearranged replay finally took place at Upton Park, and here's what happened.
Phil Hardy, Gareth Owen, good interplay, given away though by Hardy, but a misunderstanding. The West Ham ranks. Gareth Owen's shot, Connolly just not following up. Dix wants the ball, it's not given. Lazaridis is there, the angle's difficult. Well, maybe he should have done better. Connolly's touch though, not strong enough. Lampard. Cobbles Wrexham down that right side. Header comes in from Michael Hughes. Breaker's seen a lot of the ball down this right-hand side. Lazaridis, difficult angle. He did well though. Marriott was tested. Given away rather by Tony Hughes. Bishop, again Breaker joining the attack. Hughes, Breaker's continued his forward run. Strong challenge by Ward. Hughes, comfortably dealt with though by the Wrexham goalkeeper Marriott. Williamson. Decided against the forward pass. Good ball into the middle, away by Brian Hughes. Good defensive midfield play by the Wrexham player Brian Hughes, conceding the first corner of the second half. Left-footed, Marriott stays on his goal line. Gathers the ball from the header by Bilic. And that's the nearest West Ham have come to scoring maybe. The ball played across a good corner by Hughes. Bilic nearly a free header, but gathered well by Andy Marriott. Watkin will chase. Gets the better of Julian Dix. Fairly, Chalk needs a good cross, but only needed a touch from Connolly. So it's Gareth Owen with this corner for Wrexham. Headers by Carey, it's touched in, saved by McCluskey and over by Hughes. The Wrexham captain knows he should have scored. Well, there was confusion in the West Ham defence. The ball came in from Gareth Owen, wasn't dealt with particularly well, and in the end it just fell to Tony Hughes and he just blasted it over. A let-up for West Ham. Well won by Dix. McGregor back to Carey. Pressure again on Wrexham, handball against Hughes, not given. Well, it seemed to be as the ball was headed back, as the Wrexham defender was running back towards his goal, that there was contact made with the hand. Cross goes under pressure. Ward. Well, if Wrexham would have scored then, McCluskey would have been so embarrassed. Hughes. Strong run by Brian Hughes. Challenge came in though, it drops to Ward. Peter Ward. McGregor's throw. Chalk is there. Chalk. Watkin. Russell. He scored! Kevin Russell, with less than a minute to go, has scored and maybe taken Wrexham through in the most dramatic style into the next round of the Cup and caused a great upset here at Upton Park. What drama! Delight for the supporters. Substitute Kevin Russell. Well, as the ball was knocked forward, Shaw played it to Steve Watkin. Watkin turned, saw that the substitute Russell was alongside him. Lovely weighted pass, spectacular left-footed, no chance for McCluskey. And would you believe it, Wrexham seemingly have done it. They could well be in the fourth round, and a trip to Peterborough. 2.5 minutes of injury time played. Watkin batting away with Ferdinand. Breaker downfield. And that's it. Philip Don blows the final whistle. Great drama here at Upton Park. Kevin Russell has sealed a famous Wrexham victory. The great giant killers of the last 20 years, Wrexham, have claimed another scalp, and this time it's struggling West Ham. Kevin Russell takes Wrexham through. Final score at Upton Park, West Ham 0, Wrexham 1. It's Wrexham at Peterborough in the 4th round.
Well, the best way to describe it is fairy tale, isn't it? The substitute comes on, Kevin Russell scores a goal the way he did in the last minute, and it's his first goal of the season. I mean, it's sometimes hard to believe.
So remarkable win for Wrexham. Win which would spark a run which ended in the last 8 of the competition. Kevin Russell, already a club legend from his first spell at the club, certainly cementing it with that strike. It was a remarkable game afterwards when the West Ham fans, furious at their team and the defeat, came onto the pitch. The atmosphere seemed angry and it looked like there might be trouble between the two sides' fans, but actually the West Ham fans walked at the Wrexham fans and just applauded them. They knew they were well beaten. Redknapp took a very, very rough ride in the press conference afterwards because his implication that on a proper pitch West Ham would impose themselves was really exposed. Wrexham dominated that game and were very impressive in doing so. So a memorable match for Wrexham, defeating West Ham in the FA Cup. Join me next week when we have another Greatest Game.